All right, guys, before we get into the exercise and the actual workouts, we've got to kind of break down some of the muscle tissue. And the reason why we do this is because there's a lot of different parts in the swing where your body breaks down and you're actually too tight and too rigid, your muscles, to actually complete the swing properly. You know, you may have felt like when you've tried to sprint or run before, you couldn't really go all out because you felt like something was pulling on you or something was a little tight. Basically, that's what we're doing before we get into the golf swing, so you get that full range of motion without pain, without injury, and create better swings. And just to make you a believer in doing this, I'm gonna focus on probably the two of the worst areas in golfers and probably the most important areas. And if you feel pains or tightnesses in this, it's a good thing. It means we need to get that out before you play, because you could either get injured or your golf range of motion is limited. So we call this seek and destroy. And I'll go into more detail about this later. But one of the main things is the subscapularis, right up on the shoulder blade. We're using this a lot in the golf swing. And a lot of times when we're driving the car or we're just using the computer mouse on the computer work, this thing just gets knotted up. So if you would just put your arm on the wall. And what you're going to do is you can do this by yourself. It's good to get somebody else to try this out with you. But if you can get them just to stay on the wall, and the more this arm is stretched out over there, the better. And you're just going to kind of make an L shape right under the subscapula. You may feel some tightness, and you may feel this ball roll over a muscle group and kind of feel like it's pushing a muscle out. And what's happening there is you just have a really tight muscle that's just not releasing. All we have to do is just roll this over the muscle group and get this thing to release so you can move in your golf swing better, okay? So one of the next things that I want you to do is you're just going to sit down on a chair. If you've got a PVC pipe, you can also use a foam roller with this motion. And we're just going to roll out the IT band. You're going to get the side of the leg, face that way, if you would, Drew. You're going to get the side of the leg, and we're going to push down. It's good if you got some pants on, then it won't grab your skin doing this pipe. And what you're going to feel there is if you feel any soreness or tightness, you want to kind of roll that out. You want to get that out of your tissue, so you can swing fluidly through the hips right there. And so these are probably two of the worst things, but I wanted you to feel these and kind of see if these were tight on you. If not, you probably have some other places, because throughout the golf swing, you can have something in your ankle affect your lower back, okay? Your body is synergistically, in sync with all your muscles. So you have to kind of target every area. We call this part the seek and destroy. And what we want to do is basically take some type of hard object. We can use golf balls for little areas. We can use PVC pipes, for areas you can manipulate with your hands. And we can also use a foam roller, which you can get at pretty much any sporting goods store, or on the website. We can provide a link for you where you can get those at. Okay, so anyways, while we're doing this search and destroy method, we want to hit basically all the big areas of your body. You just hit your shins right there, and we just get right on top of it. And all we're doing during the entire method of this is just putting some pressure against the tissue. If you feel something tight, you may not feel nothing at all. If you don't, great. Work on that area a little bit. There's not a super right or wrong way to do this. We just want to see if you've got some problems in that muscle group, and then roll that out. Go right to the quads right there, Trey. And this one, you're just going to kind of put the elbows on the ground in a plank type position. And then we're turning the toes in and out, just hitting some different angles on this muscle group, seeing if we got any deficiencies, any problems, any adhesions in the muscle. And then if we do, we can do some different things. We can focus on the area for a little longer. We can lay on it and try and get it to release. Or we can do some micro rolls in that area that's really tight. All right, and then we're going to go to the hamstrings, flip it over there. Alright, so there's the hamstrings. I'm going to show you a good one with a PVC pipe for the calf. You can also hit that with the foam roller, with this PVC pipe. And anything round and cylinder is basically something you can use for this. And again, you just want to hit some different angles for your search and destroy. You feel a tight muscle group, you want to really hit that area a lot. Alright, Joe, let's hit the upper back area.
And once you find out what your trigger points are, or your points of pain, we want to focus on those for a couple of days a week. It's be great to do before your workout, before you play golf. Anytime that you've been stressed out, tired, you've been on a long trip driving, usually these areas you're going to find out they get tighter during those time periods. So those are good times to focus on those. But 2-3 times a week is usually plenty. If you have those target points and you work on those for 2 or 3 weeks, you'll notice that they'll go away, and you probably won't feel the pain that you're feeling in them, and you'll be able to swing better and feel better as you're moving throughout the golf course. Awesome, man. And then one other one that I really want to focus on, just have a seat right here. And this one's big in the golf game, especially if you're hitting a lot of balls, is the forearms right here. Because once they get tight, you start really using that elbow. If you've ever had any elbow problems, this can usually help you get rid of that. Legs are close together on this one. And you're just going to take a forearm, just one up at a time, and just roll that out there by putting some pressure. And then again, he's searching, it's seek and destroy right here. So he's trying to find out what's tight on his arm, if anything. He's hitting some different angles. If he feels something tight, then he's going to just focus on that, destroy that tight muscle group so he can move better. All right, so again, not super right and wrong way to do this. Find something round, cylinder, golf balls work. One thing, that motion I was doing here earlier when we were doing the IT band, the side of the leg, when I had doing the golf ball, you can actually do this yourself if you don't have anybody do this with you. Just put it right in your subscapular on the wall, and then just slide down and then back up. So try those motions out, see where you're tight so you can move better, work on that, get some of that tightness out of your muscle group. That is seek and destroy.